Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to present my project about vocabulary building course. Alright, let's begin. Part 1. Preserve verbs in English, intransitive and transitive types. 1. Intransitive preserved verbs. 1.1. Definition and linguistic background. Intransitive preserved verbs are verb particle combinations that do not take a direct object. The particle often an adverb such as up, away, off, out, or back combines with the verb to create a meaning that is either partially predictable, conventional, or idiomatic, non-conventional. The key syntactic property is that the verb first cannot be followed by non-first object. Bieber et al. 1999, Quick et al. 1985. From a theoretical perspective, preserved verb can be approached using the framework of lexical, semantic, and contraction grammar, where meaning emerges from the interaction between the verb and the particle. Goldberg, 1995. Intransitive preserved verb represent a contraction in which the particle typically encodes expectual meanings, compression, continuation, direction, or idiomatic extension. Brinton and Brinton, 2010. 1.2 Characteristic of intransitive preserved verb. Scholars such as Quirk et al. 1985 and Selke, Murcia, and Larsen, Freeman, 1999 identify several key features. 1. No object is allowed after the particle. 2. They can express movement, change of state, or idiomatic actions. 3. They often function as intransitive predicates, so some allow professional complements, not direct object. 4. Many derive from older Germanic verb particle construction. One point three examples and explanation. Example 1. The plane took off on time yesterday. Take off is intransitive here because it has no direct object. The verb expresses movement upward without marking separation from the ground. Example 2. The children grew up in a small town. Grow up refers to natural process of maturation. The object can follow. Grew up the children is ungrammatical. Example 3. She passed out during the ceremony. Pass out means to lose consciousness. The meaning is idiomatic, not literal. Example 4. We should hurry up or will miss the bus. Hurry up intensifies the meaning of hurry and does not permit a direct object, often used as an imperative construction. Example 5. After an hour, the fire died down. Die down describes a gradual reduction in intensity. The particle down contributes an aspectual meaning of decrease. 2. Transitive preserved verb. 2.1 Definition and linguistic background. Transitive preserved verb are verb particle combinations that require a direct object. Unlike intransitive preserved verb, the particle interact with the verb to form a unit that can take an object, as in pick up something or turn on the light. Notably, many transitive preserved verbs allow the particle to occur before or after the object, unless the object is a pronoun, e.g. pick it up, not pick up it. Quirk et al. 1985 classified this verbal construction as a type of multi-word verb where the particle can introduce idiomatic meaning. Huddleston and Colomb, 2002, argue that the transitivity of preserved verb is a core syntactic criterion that distinguishes them from prepositional verbs, which require a propositional complement rather than a direct object. 2.2 Characteristic of transitive preserved verb. 1. The must take a direct object. 2. The particle can shift position, like verb plus object plus particle. Pick the book up, verb plus particle plus object, pick up the book. 3. When the object is a pronoun, the particle must appear after the object, pick it up. 4. Many have idiomatic or metaphorical meanings, e.g. bring up meaning, raise a topic or chart. 2.3 Examples and explanation. Example 1. She turns off the lights, or she turns the lights off. Turn off takes the object the lights. The particle off indicates stopping or shutting down. Example 2. They carry out the experiment, or they carry the experiment out. Carry out means to perform or execute. A fully idiomatic meaning not predictable from carry plus out. Example 3. He looks up the word in the dictionary, or he looks the word up. Look up something means to search for information. Demonstrates the movable particle pattern typical of transitive reserved verbs. Example 4. The manager points out the mistake, or the manager points the mistake out. Point out mean to identify or indicate something. This verb requires a direct object, the mistake. Example 5. She put off the meeting, or she put the meeting off. Put off means postpone. Likely idiomatic meaning cannot be deduced from the base components. Next. 3. Concluding remarks. Preserve verb from the central part of English vocabulary and grammar. Understanding the distinction between intransitive and transitive type is crucial for analyzing sentence structure, argument patterns, and idiomatic meaning. Theoretical frameworks such as contraction grammar and lexical semantic help illuminate how verb particle combination function not merely as synthetic units but also as semantic contraction that encode complex meanings. 4. References. Bieber, D. Johnson, S. Leeds, G. Conrad, S. and Finnegan, E. 1999. Longman, Grammar of Spoken and Written English, Longman. Brington, L. and Brington, D. 2010. The Linguistic Structure of Modern English, John Benjamins. Selko Murcia, M. and Larsen Freeman, D. 1999. The Grammar Book, Anisi, L. EVL, Teacher Course. Henley and Henley, Goldberg, A. 1998. 5. Construction, a constructive grammar approach to argument structure, University of Chicago Press. Huddleston, R. and Pullum, G. 2002. The Cambridge Grammar of the English Language, Cambridge University Press. Quick, R. Granbaum, S. Leeds, G. and Sarvik, G. 1985. A Comprehensive Grammar of the English Language, Longman. Next to part 2, case study and analysis project. 1. Case study 1, vocabulary building with intransitive reserved verb. Data. 1. The meeting ran on for more than 2 hours. 2. Several students dropped out during the research project. 3. The plane took off earlier than expected. 4. He woke up before sunrise. 5. The crowd slowly calmed down. 1.1. Intransitive reserved verb and vocabulary building processes. Intransitive reserved verb acquire vocabulary meaning through lexicalization, a process where verb particle combination become stored as single lexical units in the mental lexicon. Fraser, 1976, Brinton, 2012, for second language L2 learners. Understanding an intransitive reserved verb involves grasping 1. The semantic contribution of the verb. 2. The aspectual or directional meaning of the particle. 3. The idiomatic meaning that emerges from the combination. For example, run on expresses continuation, drops out expresses withdrawal, calm down expresses reduction in intensity. According to Sigmit 2008, vocabulary acquisition is strengthened when learners engage with multi-word expression, which represent a substantial portion of fluent native competency. 1.2 Linguistic analysis of the examples. 1. Run on indicates prolonged duration. The particle on conveys continuous aspect. 2. Drop out describe cruising participation. It's cyclically idiomatic and not predictable from drop plus out literally. 2. Took out indicates action or departure with of expression separation. 4. Woke up describe becoming conscious of contributes unexpected meaning of completion. 5. Calm down describe reduction in emotional or physical intensity. This example demonstrates the complexity of particle meanings and the need for learners to recognize non-conventional semantics. 1.3 Difficulties in second language learning research show L2 learners commonly struggle with phrasal verb due to 1. Idiomaticity, meaning often cannot be inferred from components, Liao and Fukuya 2004. 2. Polysemy, many phrasal verbs have multiple meanings depending on context. 3. Negative transfer from L1 languages lacking phrasal verb, e.g. Japanese, Arabic cause structural mismatch. 4. Opacity of particles. Particles like on, up, out have abstract meanings. The example drops out, for instance, cannot be interpreted literally and must be learned as a lexicalized chunk. 1.4 Empirical research evidence. A widely cited study by Cornell 1985 shows that phrasal verbs are acquired more slowly than single lexion verbs due to the semantic unpredictability. Similarly, Schmidt and Carter 2004 found that explicit teaching of phrasal verbs significantly improves vocabulary retention because learners must treat them as formulaic sequences. More recent research by Garnish and Schmidt 2018 demonstrated that understanding phrasal verb requires deep exposure to naturalistic context because their meaning varies with pragmatic usage. Thus, intransitive phrasal verbs support vocabulary building, but learners require structural input, contextual examples, and repeated exposures. References: Case Study 1, Brinton L. 2012, The Structure of Modern English, Cornell A. 1985, Realistic Goals in Teaching and Learning Phrasal Verbs, Daniel M. and Schmidt and 2016, the PHAV list of pedagogical list of phrasal verbs, Liao Ye and Fukuya Yi Ji 2004, Avoidance of Phrasal Verbs, The Case of Chinese Learners of English, Schmidt and 2008, review article in Structured Second Language Vocabulary Learning. 2. Case Study 2, Gender Formation and Suffixes. Data 1. Actor actress, 2. Waiter waitress, 3. Prince princess, 4. hostess, 5. Hero heroine. 2.1 How gender suffixes change meaning. Gender suffixes in English derive from historical morphological processes, especially from French and Latin borrowings. Bauer, Lieber, and Plack 2013, the suffixes is, in, and rix, historically marked female nouns, though modern English increasingly favors gender-neutral forms. Adding these suffixes creates derivational morphology, changing the semantic representation. Actor, actress, female performer, hero, heroine, female hero. Thus, gender suffixation modifies the lexical semantic of the base noun by specifying biological or social gender. 2.2 Morphological processes in each example. 1. Actor, actress. The suffix is attaches to the base actor, creating a female equivalent. Morphological process, suffixation, and gender marking. 2. Whether and waters. Simple derivation using is to indicate feminine occupation, often replaced by gender neutral server in modern usage. 3. Prince, princess. Suffix is combined with the phonological adjustment prince. This demonstrates stem modification plus suffixation. 4. Host and hostess. Follows the same derivational pattern to host is now gender neutral. 5. Hero, heroine is employs suffix in borrowed from French, represent a historical morphological pattern rather than a productive modern one. 2.3 Empirical research evidence. Studies demonstrate that gender suffixes play a role in cultural interpretation of gender. Stereopolo 2015 shows that English gender morphology is less productive today but remains semantically active. Cox-Beth 1991 explained that English has limited grammatical gender but uses lexical gender markers, gender suffixes to set biological sex. Hellinger and Basman 2001 demonstrate that gender marking often reflects ideological shift, which is why whites and hostess are becoming obsolete. Thus, gender suffixation is both morphological and sociolinguistic. References: Case Study 2, Bayer L. Lieber R. and Clark I. 2013. The Oxford Reference Guide to English Morphology. Corbett G. 1991. Gender, Cambridge University Press. Hellinger M. and Basman H. 2001. Gender Cross Languages. Stereopolo O. 2015. Gender Unknowns Classification in English. Next, 3. Case Study 3. Vocabulary formation with collective nouns. Data. The committee has approved the proposal. 2. The jury was divided in its decision. And 3. A swarm of insects covered the field. 4. The audience claps loudly. 5. The staff are attending a workshop today. 3.1 How collective nouns function of vocabulary units. Collective nouns denote a group treated as a single conceptual unit. Hunt 2006. They are stored as lexical categories in the mental lexicon representing plurality but behaving syntactically as either singular or plural depending on the unlike and semantic interpretation. American English prefers singular agreement the committee has. British English allows plural meanings. The staff are. Collective nouns therefore illustrate lexical semantic mismatches between notional number, plural meaning, and grammatical number, often singular. 3.2 Subject-verb agreement analysis. 1. The committee has approved the proposal. Here, committee is treated as a single unit. Singular verb has represent the institution as a whole. 2. The jury was divided in its decision. Singular verb signal that the jury is conceptualized as one body, even if internally divided. 3. A swarm of insects covered the field. The head noun worm is singular, insect is a complement. Those swarm singular agreement covered. 4. The audience clapped loudly. Although audience contains multiple people, it is treated as a single entity. Singular verb clapped. 5. The staff are attending a workshop today. Here, staff is treated as a group of individuals. Triggering Phrasal agreement are common in British English. 3.3 Research-based justification. According to Bong et al. 1999, agreement with collective nouns is guided by national number, meaning speakers rely on the conceptual plurality of the group, not just grammar. Similarly, Leeds and Sparvik 2002 demonstrate that dialect variation influences agreement patterns, particularly with staff, team, and government. Additional research by Han 2006 showed that British English increasingly favors plural agreement with collective nouns, even for institutional nouns like government. This linguistic behavior highlights the flexible interaction between syntax, semantic, and sociolinguistic variation. References case study 3. Bouquet Abernhardt quoting G.C. Meyer A. and Scree refers H. 1999 some attraction of verb agreement. Han M. 2006 collective nouns in British and American English. Leeds G. and Sparvik J. 2002 a communicative grammar of English. Craig et al. 1985 a comprehensive grammar of the English language. Okay everyone, I think that's it all. Thank you so much for your watching and see you to next project. Thank you everyone.